Hi there, this is Kim Miller with Inspired Hygiene, and I'm sitting here this afternoon with Nikki, who's the administrator at Dr. Karen Parvin's office in Chesapeake, Virginia. And I asked Nikki if she would share some of her thoughts about the training because as an administrator, sometimes administrators maybe think, this training is not so much for me because it's about periodontal disease. And Nikki had a really great insight to this, and I asked her if she'd share that with us today.
So, I pride myself on, being able to explain root canals or crowns, but when it came to periodontal disease, I didn't even always wanted to say disease, and I couldn't always explain it very well to our patients while, presenting a treatment plan. After going through Inspired Hygiene, that's a whole different story. I'm able to mirror what they say in the back. I have patients tell me that, I'm really knowledgeable, that we all really know our stuff. And I think that's probably one of the biggest compliments that I could get from a patient.
That's right, yeah. And having those verbal skills, like you said, that mirror what's going on in the clinic side is important not only from a restorative perspective, but from a periodontal perspective as well. One of the other things that Nikki has a unique perspective on I said you were the administrator, but you're really the office manager. I'm sorry, I missed the beat on that, but as the office manager, she also got some feedback from some of the clinical assistants. In fact, before my first visit with them, clinical assistants came to you and said, what?
Do I even have to do this? I don't want to give up my lunch to sit through webinars. This is hygiene, and they do all of that in the new patient appointment. I don't want to do this. Do you really have to stay for this? And we told them, it's recommended for all of the staff. I'm staying. The other administrative staff member is staying, and you need to stay too. You need to be able to have this conversation with patients. And after Kim came out the first time, one of the assistants walked up and said, that was amazing. It was the best 2 days. I cannot believe everything that I just learned and how important it is, and I'm going to go home and talk to my family about it.
It being
periodontal
disease, right?
And it's information that you take out into the world with you. It doesn't just stay at work. Nobody wants to hear about a root canal, but you can talk to anyone about bleeding gums because they probably have bleeding gums or somebody they know has bleeding gums. So it's important for the whole staff.
Yes, absolutely. I know the clinical assistant who you very clearly see has remained unnamed, and that's okay. But although I think she would be happy if we said her name, she said, I'm going to be bored out of my mind for 2 days sitting and listening to perio, and that's not uncommon. Clinical assistants often say that. I hear it all the time. So I really appreciate your feedback, hearing that your team members, your clinical assistants, and your admin team got a lot out of the training, and really it warms my heart because that's what I do, is help to elevate the knowledge of team members. And I love the fact that your team members have taken it upon themselves to share this not only with your patients but with their family members.
Well, and actually my favorite story, which I shared earlier, we had a new assistant start, and it was only about 2 weeks after she had started, and she looked at me and she said, Nikki, I think you really may be one of the smartest dental office managers I know. I mean, you know more than just insurance, and you know more than just a crown. I don't even know what biofilm is. And I said, oh, don't worry, when you get through with Inspired Hygiene, you will too. But I mean, how amazing was that? I mean, and I had to go to my doctor and thank her for letting me be part of this, because I think it's important to be well-rounded, but I think that was probably the best compliment I've ever received as an office manager.
Yes, and I second that compliment.
Yeah.
You are a very smart office manager. Well, thanks for sitting down with me today and sharing
Absolutely.
your experience with the course. Thanks very much. And for all of you listening, stay inspired.